Hey socialites, so today I'm going to do this look full face of Sephora collection. So on Saturday, August the 23rd, which is tomorrow, everything Sephora collection is going to be 30% off, okay? The only time we see that type of savings is during the Sephora savings event, so they're going to give us one day to shop the full collection 30% off. And if you know me, I'm a Sephora collection stan. I love so many of their products, their tools, even some of their skincare and body care. So today we're going to be talking about all of my favorites, some of the products I recommend. Everything I mentioned in today's video I'll have linked right there on the YouTube shopping tab or either down in the description box. Keep in mind you can still buy online and pick up in store using those links. So if you want to see how I got this look and my thoughts on Sephora collection, then keep watching. Okay, socialites, so I'm gonna start off with skin prep. So I've washed my face, I put on my toner, which is the Caudalie toner. So last haul that I did, I showed you guys the new Sephora collection Glow. It's a gel moisturizer. Clinique Moisture Surge is my favorite, so I was trying to find a more affordable gel moisturizer to use for affordable Fridays or just in general. So this one's different from the Clinique in that there's vitamin C in here, so hence the color, and it brightens. The Clinique one doesn't brighten in the way that this one brightens, like you guys are about to see. And the texture of this, or the consistency of this, is slightly thicker, just a little bit, because I use that one so often I can tell the little slight differences. This one feels a little bit creamier than the Clinique Moisture Surge, but you see how it brightens the complexion. That's the vitamin C, so it's going to brighten your complexion about 20%. And yeah, I'm not mad at vitamin C at all. Feels really good and hydrating on the skin. I filmed my whole entire day today. We went out, and before I left, I did my makeup and I used this. So I wore it all day with, I didn't have on much makeup, just kind of like spot concealed, but it held up. It looked good. So let's talk about these pores. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I do have a little bit of pores in my cheek area. So Sephora collection does have this smooth and blur primer. I've used it only a few times, you guys, so I don't have any really concrete thoughts on it, to be honest. It's almost like the same color as a moisturizer. It's a little gritty, so what I do is I smooth it on the back of my hand first, and then I tap it in the areas where I see pores. So I'm gonna wait about another minute for the moisturizer to sort of sink in the skin, and then I'm gonna smooth this over the pore area. Okay, so I'm gonna go right in and I'm gonna tap this in. And I'm gonna also let this sit for about 2 minutes before I move on to foundation. Okay, so it doesn't dry all the way completely down, but it dries down maybe about 80%, you guys. It does fill in my pores somewhat. I have tried primers that fills in my pores a little bit more than this, so I would say it fills in my pores maybe like 75%, but it definitely blurs. So moving on to foundation, I'm going to use the new reformulated Best Skin Ever foundation from Sephora collection. Now I do have a full review up on my channel. I'll leave the link right there in case you want to check it out. And I'll also put it in a description box for you as well. Now this is the shade 30Y. On that video I used 29 and 31, and neither one were like my exact color. The two mixed together looked perfect on me, so I thought, well, since I skipped 30, let me just get 30. The reason why I didn't get 30 initially is because it said Y, which is yellow, and I wanted something a little bit more neutral, and those other two colors were neutral. So I'm gonna go in with one pump of this, and look, this is my first time using this shade, so hopefully it works out. So this is about 1.5 pumps. I can definitely use it and get away with it. I just don't prefer this undertone on me at all. I'd rather a neutral undertone. Some people say that the neutral looks dull, but I don't mind it. I sort of like, I don't want to say I like dull, but I like neutral, because once I go in with my bronzers and my powders and the rest of my makeup, it just evens out, and I prefer the neutral undertone on me. So because the undertone is different, I have to definitely go down my neck a little bit with this just to make things look a little bit more seamless. They do have a powder foundation, which is great. It's like my second favorite powder foundation. I don't wear it enough because the Makeup Forever powder foundation is my favorite, but when I tell you a close second, it's really, really good, especially for the price. Sephora Collection recently launched the number 40 foundation brush, right? And so this one's really good. It sort of reminds me of the shape of this Danessa Myricks brush, right? Except obviously the handles are different. I prefer the longer handle on this. Now, I wish that the brush head was a little bigger than this, but it still works great. It feels great. The quality is really good. But if the size was a little closer to Danessa's, this brush would be perfection. But my two favorite foundation brushes from Sephora Collection is the number 64 and the number 88. Now this 88 does build more coverage because you can sort of stipple it in than the 64, but you can definitely get full coverage with the 64. But you could also blend it out and get like that medium coverage with the 64 because it is sort of like a little fluffier on the end. You know, that's sort of a duo fiber brush, softer, rather than the 88, which is a lot more dense. I'm going to use the 64. It blends out really good, y'all, really does. Those 29 and 31 were literally like the perfect color together. Just going in the areas where I need more coverage, because this one is buildable. It's like a medium to full coverage. And this reformulated version of the Best Skin Ever foundation is more hydrating. So as the original formula was like super matte, this one gives you more of a hydrated appearance. Now the Reveal the Real skin tint from Sephora Collection is actually my favorite Sephora Collection complexion product. I like it better than the full coverage foundation. I like it even better than their powdered foundation, and this is their powder foundation, which is the Best Skin Ever powder foundation, and my shade is 35P. You can build the Reveal the Real skin tint to almost full coverage, but it just looks so natural on the skin. It's like one of those any occasion foundations where you don't feel like you're doing too much. Has a natural skin finish to it for sure. And the color match on that is nearly perfect for me, and I'm 250 in this one. Moving on to concealer, Sephora Collection has reformulated the Best Skin Ever concealer as well. Now I do think that they still have the original formula on the website, and if they do, I do recommend it. I love it. I have like 4 or 5 backups of it because it's discontinued. So if it's available, I recommend it, you guys. You get full coverage out of it, blends really smooth. The new formula is more hydrating though, similar to the new formulation of the foundation. And this one has slightly less coverage, although you can definitely get full coverage out of it. And this shade is 17N. Sephora Collection does have Velour Puffs, which I highly recommend. This one is so good. Super soft and thick and plushy. Very much high quality. But Sephora Collection also has a sponge. I like it because it's really soft and plushy, feels a lot softer than the actual Beauty Blender brand and smoother than that sponge. I like that it comes to a really sharp point. That way you can get in those corners really good, and it doesn't hurt that they have that flat side. Love it. So I completely submerge it in water, squeeze every last drop of water out of it, and then I use it that way. It gets, you know, much softer that way. Really creamy formula on the concealer. I thought that it creased when I first, well, it did crease on me when I first used it. But it was definitely my blending. The next time I did a better job at blending. The next time I wore it, and I've been good with this. ever since. So we're gonna move on to cream bronzer. Actually, it's cream contour. It's the Sephora Collection Cream Contour Stick. And this doesn't come in a whole lot of colors. I wanna say like 4 colors. This one is in the shade medium tan. And so for me, this is like a true contour, see, because it's cool toned and it's really pigmented. So you don't need a whole lot of it at all. And I'm gonna take that number 40 brush from Sephora Collection and blend that out. Sephora Collection now has liquid blushes. This is the Blush and Go 03 on the bright side, and it's this little guy here. Too cute. And it has that little sponge applicated in there, and there's a little bitty tiny hole in the middle of there, sort of like where the product comes out at, and then it kind of settles like right on the very tip. It is said to have a matte finish. So I'm gonna take this Sephora Collection 99 brush for the blush. They have powder blushes too that are beautiful. I don't have any of their powder blushes. A lot of the brands are coming out with those where they have like the 3 colors stacked in there, and they have some really pretty colors in that as well. But last time I went shopping for Sephora Collection, I had got so many blushes, just period, during that haul that I skipped out on those, and I did swatch a lot of them in that video too. I'll put that video in the description box too, in case y'all want to check it out, because I have a lot of swatches of Sephora Collection products in there. Now, Sephora Collection does have a Best Skin Ever Glow concealer, right? But this one is nearly sheer coverage. So if you're somebody who likes really lightweight makeup, you want to be able to see your skin through the product and something very hydrating, then this one is going to be the one that you want to look at. And so for the Sephora Best Skin Ever Glow, I'm in the shade 36. Well, this is the shade I use for highlighting. Is 36. So we're gonna set with the brand new Sephora Collection Blur It Loose Powder. Now it comes in 3 shades. This one is Brightening Pink, so it's a pink one. I have Brightening Peach, which is this one, and then I have Brightening Yellow, which is this one. So they have these 3 shades. Now they're not super brightening on me. The one that brightens the most is the Brightening Yellow. For this video, I'm going to use the Brightening Pink because this is the one that I've used the least. And I do have a video showing you guys how they all look on. So if you scroll through my videos and you see the thumbnails, I usually try to put the products that I used in the video on the thumbnail, so you can click on that, or I'll definitely put the video in the description box where I'm trying all the colors in that same video. You open it up, it does have a puff in here, and it does have one of those protectors where you can lift it up. And then the sifter is in there. It's like a netted sifter, so I love that. It keeps the powder from going everywhere. Very blurring, beautiful formula. Performs very much like a high-end powder does, and the ingredients in this product are high-end ingredients. So for the price, especially with the 30% off, to me, I believe this one is a no-brainer. See how it sets, but it doesn't really brighten, and the peach one does pretty much the same thing. See how smooth that is? It gives you a really smooth canvas. I even use the peach one to set all over my entire face, and it looks really good, to be honest. Now, Sephora Collection does have a loose powder that's translucent. It's a different formula. A lot of the socialites love it. My girl Michelle absolutely loves it. She's bought so many of these, like it's her go-to. It's just not my favorite. This is one that you absolutely have to spray, you know, your face down just for everything to melt into the skin, which I don't mind doing that at all, but I like a powder that just kind of looks seamless before you spray it as well. And so for me, this one seems to like sit on top just a little bit more than the rest of them, but I'm sure if I hydrated my skin a little bit more, then maybe it wouldn't do that. So with that being said, if you have really dry skin, I don't recommend this one. The new blurred powders are definitely more hydrating. And I think if you have oily skin, this one might be your jam. So one of my favorite powders in general, now we're talking about pressed powders, y'all, is gonna be the Sephora Collection Microsmooth powder. Now my shade is Mahogany for all over. I do have Ebony, which is a smidge deeper, that I like to use for bronzer, but y'all, they've reformulated it and I have not tried the reformulated version. So comment down below if you've tried both. What do you think about the old formula, which I use, versus the new formula? So I'm gonna use this one today and set all over. Sephora Collection Microsmooth powder in the shade Ebony. This is the 59 brush from Sephora Collection. Really nice brush to use for, like, if you want your blush blown out or your bronzer blown out and not like super strategic, this is a good one. And so we're gonna go in and bronze. Sephora Collection Microsmooth brow pencil. This one's in the shade Soft Charcoal. One of my favorite brow pencils, especially for the price. It's a solid product. I usually buy at least 2 of them during every Sephora sale. And I like to use soft charcoal because it's not warm. It doesn't have like any warm undertones in it, but it's still a brown. Original Best Skin Ever Concealer in the shade 35. And this is what I use to carve my brows. It's the perfect consistency and the perfect shade for that. So that's actually why I bought the backups. I can also use it to conceal hyperpigmentation, but I use something else for that. But if I'm in a crunch and I need to, then I could. Okay, so let's go in with a little bit of eyeshadow. Now, this is the number 27 blending brush from Sephora Collection. Excellent blending brush, you guys. I love it. I have about 3 of these. When you pull your finger back off of the brush, you can get like a really diffused blend. But if you also wanted to build color, because it does have a little bit of firmness to the brush, if you go closer to the barrel of the brush, you could build that color in there. So either one, if you want a pack color, you could do that with this, or if you want a more blown out, like your transition shades or whatever you want to blow out, you could do that too. Just pull your, hand down the handle of the brush a little bit. I find that their eyeshadow palettes are very much hit or miss. Now, I found some big palettes from them before that have been excellent, that I have been obsessed with. They're now discontinued. Just got to go in the store and see. They do have the single potted eyeshadows, and there are a few of these that I absolutely love. My favorite 2 is this one, which is Milky Way. I'm going to use a little bit of this today, and I don't know if they still make Choco Excess, but this one is another really good one too. My hair is drying up, so it is puffing up on me, y'all. It was slick because I had just washed it when I came on here, but as it dries, it's getting puffier and puffier. So Milky Way actually applies best with your finger. And if you want it more sheared out than this, like if you don't want it as opaque as this, then go in with the brush. So taking Choco Excess, I'm gonna put just a little bit right next to Milky Way, and I'm tapping it over the edge of Milky Way as well, so it can have like a seamless blend. Now, Sephora Collection does have a few pencil liners that I really love. Now, these 12-hour pencils from Sephora Collection are really nice. So I'll swatch them for you. So this one is Waterfall. Gorgeous. I use this in my waterline sometimes, just for like a little pop of color if I'm doing a blue look or a purple look. Now, this next shade is called Cocoa. And Cocoa is a beautiful, rich brown shade, like a warm brown shade that has soft, glittery reflex in it. You could see it in person, but I feel like on camera it doesn't show up a whole lot, but it's not necessarily matte. There are reflex in it, but it's just a pretty brown. And then I have the shade Tiramisu. It's a dark matte brown, so it's darker black as well, and the black is really good, and these stay. These are really long lasting. And one of my most used is called Coconut. And I use this in my waterline to just wake me up or open up my eyes. Now, Sephora Collection recently released colorful special effects pencils, and they are gorgeous. One's in Celestial Blue, and then this one is Astral Pink. So I'm gonna take Tiramisu. And if you like to smudge your liners like I do, the 12-hour pencils do give you enough time to smudge it out without drying up on you. But once it dries, it does stay put. So I'm gonna go in with mascara. This is the Sephora Collection Love the Lift mascara. Now, Sephora Collection has several mascaras, okay? They have an arsenal of mascara. Now, I do like this one. It's called Love the Lift because it curls your lashes up. It does separate quite a bit. I don't find that I get a ton of volume with it, but it separates really good, and it definitely curls your lashes up. With that being said, if you have long lashes at the bottom, be careful because it will curl your lashes down. So if they're long enough to touch your skin, it's going to kind of enhance that because it does have that sort of curling ability in this formula. I don't know if I talked about wear time with the complexion products, but with the Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation, I get about 5 hours before it gets shiny on my skin. Now, if I wear like a mattifying primer or oil controlling primer, I can get like 7 or 8 hours before it starts to get shiny, but it doesn't get like oily. But I do start to see, when that natural glow starts to come in. Sephora Collection Reveal the Real, which is my favorite one. I get all day wear. I don't even have to wear a primer with it, and it's just gonna stay looking like I just put it on. Super long wearing, and a lot of the socialites have said the same thing about that one. But both of these foundations I do feel like could work for any skin type. So I'm gonna put a little bit of the special effects in the Celestial Blue in my waterline. Okay, so I'm gonna put just a little bit more blush. Let's see how this blends on top of powder, because I know I already set with powder. Okay, so it works fine on top of powder as well. So the Sephora Collection 12-hour setting and mattifying powder in Universal, similar to that loose translucent powder, this one only comes in one shade, y'all. I only use this under eye, and I use a very light hand because it is so matte. So you don't need a whole lot of this. It does brighten a little bit and smooth under eye. Now, Sephora Collection does have liquid eyeliners, which are actually really good, and they dry to a matte finish, which I love. I don't have the black one, but I do have the shade Chocolate, and I usually use this right here just to bring my mold back right there, but I do use it every now and again for actual eyeliner. Sephora Collection Luminizer and Blinding Bronze. I'm gonna take the opposite side of my number 99 brush and highlight right up here. Beautiful color, you guys, and these are like $10, I want to say, and that's before your 30% off. Gorgeous. This is like the perfect shade for like a true highlighter for my skin tone. So pretty. Let's put a little bit up here. Sephora Collection launched, or they reformulated their lip liners, and in my opinion, they blow the old formula out of the water. The old formula was like creamy, and it was like left like a shiny finish, and it wore off fairly quickly. This new formula, they call it the 8-hour colorful transfer proof lip liners, and I have it in 2 shades, and I love them. They're super long lasting. You're gonna need to use your oil, like your makeup removing oil, to get it off. So that's muted brown, and then my favorite shade is Frosted Chestnut, and this is Frosted Chestnut. But I really love both of these shades. I just wear Frosted Chestnut a lot more. This is the one that I keep in my purse, and when I tell you long wearing, y'all, they killed it with this formula. So I highly recommend these lip liners. They go on really smooth and creamy, but if you give it like 2 minutes, it doesn't budge. With that being said, if you like to smudge your lip liner, I would do the top and then smudge it, and do the bottom and then smudge it so it doesn't dry on you, and you can get time to play around with it. So this one is Frosted Chestnut. It's actually the lip liner I wore on my wedding day. Now, when it comes to lip products, I have so many lip products from Sephora Collection, and I like so many of them, it's ridiculous. Their liquid lipsticks are excellent. I have probably more than 10 colors in it. I love the reds, I love the nude shades. I use a lot of the pinks and mauves on my clients. I probably should try to do like a separate swatch video. I'm gonna take the Sephora Collection number 21 lipstick. This is their matte formula. I don't like to do like a complete swipe on the top and bottom because it's super matte and super pigmented, but all by itself, that's really pretty, a really pretty natural nude combo. But I'm gonna take the plumping gloss, and I love Sephora Collection plumping glosses. This one is in shade 02, but there's so many shades in this that I just adore. 08 is my favorite, has like glittery reflex in it. I have a few of the pinks. It's like the old school way that brands used to do lip glosses. I hope they never change this formula. So it's smoothing. It's going to smooth out those lines on your lips, and it's a little minty. So it's supposed to be a plumping gloss. It's a little minty, but it's not like overpowering like a lot of the new formulas from these different brands. And the plumping glosses are really pigmented. So if you didn't want to put a lip color underneath, you don't have to, and you're still going to get great color payoff. Now, Sephora Collection does have setting mist now. I think they have a matte one, and they have like a more luminizing one. I hadn't tried those yet, so maybe that's what I'll pick up during this 30% off. Hopefully this video was helpful. I like how the makeup turned out, y'all. I think after I finished everything, the shade of this is not so bad after all, but I felt like it would work out. I love how luminous the cheeks look from this luminizer, and the eyeshadow is eating. I love it. So now Sephora Collection does have a few other products that I use that aren't necessarily like makeup or for makeup. Sephora All Day Body Hydrator. It has 93% natural ingredients in it. I use this on my kids. Sometimes I use it on myself. It's pretty hydrating. You're not gonna get like that 24-hour hydration that you'll get from like Josie Marin or like Fenty body butters, but it's a decent body butter. I would say, 10-12 hours. You put it on in the morning, definitely will get some good hydration throughout the day. It smells kind of like a sweet, warm, shea buttery, slightly vanillic type of scent, which is very, very pleasant. It does so good on my kids' skin because both of them have really sensitive skin, and I love Sephora Collection for that as well. Now, I showed you guys this Sephora Collection Glow Cream, which so far so good. I used it earlier today and right now, but they have another moisturizer. I'll pop a picture up there. I've bought maybe about my third jar now. Also has like, I want to say 93 or maybe even 98% clean ingredients in it, and I love it because it's just a good moisturizer. It's not super plushy. It's not one of those ultra hydrating moisturizers, but it's a solid moisturizer, and I like to use it especially when I'm using actives on my skin or anything like that, like retinols, AHAs or BHAs, and I need a moisturizer that's just that. That's just plain hydration with clean ingredients that doesn't do plumping and have all the extras in there and vitamin C and all this other stuff. When I just need a plain moisturizer, that one's solid. So I usually pick up one or two during the sale. Now, Sephora Collection also has cotton pads. Super inexpensive. You get a whole pack for like $4, I want to say. So with the 30% off, it's just a few bucks, y'all. Super good as well. That's another product that I stock up when they're 30% off. At this point, I'm waiting to see if Sephora Collection is going to drop some body mist because they are really expanding their line. They've stepped up the quality 1,000%, and I'm a fan. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about the look, and let me know what is your favorite Sephora Collection product. Everything I mentioned or used in today's video, I'll have linked down below in the description box. Don't forget, you can also use the links for buy online, pick up in store. So if you're new here, welcome. I'd love for you to come join the family by hitting the subscribe button. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. 'Cause I've been where you are. You're too scared to show me love, 'cause too fresh with the scars.